Wait until that one encounter I have, maybe that becomes a little bit unpleasant, and then afterwards I can basically be like, oh, joke's on you. I've got an adopted Cuban son who, by the by, I happened to adopt when he was 12. We did have a wonderful exchange between the representative Cedric Richmond and Matt Gaetz. Yes, the very same Matt Gaetz. The Matt Gaetz who's often just a parody of himself. And
studying Antifa. I'm not even interested in studying the Klan or sovereign citizens right now, because that is not the imminent threat that black men face on a daily basis. And right now, too often, it is law enforcement, those who were sworn to protect and to serve. And so all we're asking today is to deal with that. I don't mind dealing with other pieces of legislation. I don't mind dealing with other issues that you all may have. And what I don't want to leave this conversation with, and why I'm speaking now instead of later, is because I don't want you all to leave here saying, well, we didn't know. We didn't know that's how you felt, Cedric. I want it to be crystal clear, and I will give you the benefit of the doubt that it is an unconscious bias that I'm hearing, because at worst it's conscious bias, and that I would hate to assume from any of the people on the other side.
Will the gentleman yield?
Sure.
I appreciate your passion. Are you suggesting that you're certain that none of us have non-white children? Because you reflected on your black son and you said none of us could understand.
Matt, stop. I'm not about to get sidetracked about the color of our children. We're talking about black kids. I reclaimed my time.
You said that
I reclaimed my time. I know.
You want the discussion?
I know that
gentleman reclaimed his time.
I said I reclaimed my time. I already know that there are people on the other side that have black grandchildren. It is not about the color of your kids. It is about black males, black people in the streets that are getting killed. And if one of them happens to be your kid, I'm concerned about him too. And clearly I'm more concerned about him than you are. So let's be clear about that.
You're claiming you're more concerned for my family than I do? Who in the hell do you think you are?
If the shoe fits.
You don't know how much we care about our families.
Kick, dog, holler.
You should take those words down. I know you care about your family and love your family.
The gentleman will suspend the time belongs to the gentleman from Louisiana.
Cedric, would you yield?
Was that a nerve?
If you want to see just how...
Was that a nerve? Oh, come on. Can we enjoy this in slow motion just quickly? Just, chef's kiss.
Gentlemen, suspend. The time belongs to the gentleman from Louisiana.
Cedric, would you yield?
Was that a nerve?
I actually saw that last night, right before going to bed, and it was wonderful. It sent me to dreamland with just a smile on my face, and it's kind of like, I don't know what there's some kind of pudding that you Brits like to have before the evening. Yorkshire pudding? No, that sounds a little bit heavy. That's more of a dough. But either way, a delightful treat. And then I woke up to even more delights. Just the strangest of delights. This was a twist I did not see coming. This is a power play I've never seen before. It's I don't even know how to explain it, but it's just so wonderful. What a gift! Look at this. Today, Mr. Gaetz tweets out, "For all those wondering, this is my son Nestor. We share no blood, but he is my life. He came from Cuba, legally of course, 6 years ago, and he lives with me in Florida. I'm so proud of him, and raising him has been the best, most rewarding thing I've done in my life." So many questions. This raises a lot more questions than it answers. It's a twist I didn't see coming. I got to be totally frank. So this is a 38-year-old congressman in Florida who now is revealing for the first time that he has a 19-year-old adopted Cuban son, which he has never mentioned in any capacity publicly before, ever. Not once. That all of a sudden he's using it. I don't know if he was saving him as a card. If he was like, oh, I got a stacked deck now. Yeah, I'll wait. I'll wait until that one encounter I have. Maybe that becomes a little bit unpleasant, and then afterwards I can basically be like, oh, Joke's on you. I've got an adopted Cuban son who, by the by, I happened to adopt when he was 12. It'd be lovely. It could be a wonderful, innocent, lovely story. It could be the most innocent thing that's ever happened, but it's very weird. It's a very, very, very weird play. Nestor turned 19 a few years ago and will be off to university. He arrived here at 12 years old. As you can imagine, I was triggered when, to make an absurd debate point, a fellow congressman diminished the contributions of Republicans because we don't raise non-white kids. Neat. Human trafficking legislation, and what could that ever be related to? I just took a look at Matt Gaetz' Venmo, and apparently he knows a lot of extremely young-looking women. A lot of them are co-eds, so not that young, but they're go-go dancers and Instagram models. Not that surprising, but Venmo should be used more by investigative reporters because it basically tells you someone's entire contact list. Gaetz declined multiple requests from Mother Jones for an interview, but one day, out of the blue, he called me to beg me not to identify the woman he dated. I am pleading with you not to identify them, he said. Identifying them puts them at risk.
It established a new entity at the federal level so that everybody could get together and have meetings about human trafficking. Now, for reasons I'm going to describe, I think it's very important that we combat human trafficking, but I do not believe that the correct answer is a new federal agency. So here's my approach to the issue. I served as the chairman of the Criminal Justice Committee in the Florida legislature for 2 years. And during that time, Tampa was...
what's that, Chad? You're asking who's that in the background? That would be his son. Or is it? We're not sure. Today he revealed for the first time ever that he's actually got a son, an adopted son. He adopted him when he was 12 years old, and he's been looking after him ever since. He was single and 32 years old at the time, but that is very normal behavior for a 32-year-old man to adopt. Oh wow, he caught on really quick. He deleted the Venmo. Oh, except for Nestor. This Nestor. Nice. Yeah, you gotta keep this Nestor on the payroll. I don't know if everyone saw this. We showed it at the start of the stream, but this is it was great working with local students, Sophia Burleson and Nestor Gulban in Tallahassee this week. They were fantastic. You mean your son? You mean your adopted son?
Specifically, the element of duress. The case in Florida used to be that you had to prove physical duress to bring a human trafficking prosecution, which means someone had to literally put their hands on someone and shove them into a van or an airplane or a boat.
It's messy.
For a human trafficking event to have occurred. I was part of the leadership that changed that definition so that now economic duress, psychological duress, those forms of duress can meet the duress element so that we can actually bring cases and lock up human traffickers. The results have been fantastic. Testimony given before the legislature from the statewide prosecutor, from the attorney general's office, all show that innovative work that we did at the state level has had a substantial impact on our capability to bring prosecutors against human traffickers. So why then would I be the only no vote in the entire Congress against legislation that had human trafficking in the title? I assure you, it's not because I don't think human trafficking is a problem. It absolutely is. But far too often, the best of intentions can lead to mission creep at the federal level and the expansion of a federal government well beyond what our founders intended and well beyond what is in the U.S. Constitution. And so in our office, we have a rule. If there's legislation...
Yeah, you don't want anything that might catch the wrong person. You know, you don't want that overarching government, big government to have their claws over you. Yeah, no, you got to protect your assets.
That creates a at the federal level. So as you guys can see, I've got my helper Nestor here. I'm at my parents' house out in Walton County. We've got the Christmas tree still up, and my mother will be very angry that I took a shot with the Christmas tree in the background.
Before we bombard you with all of our shameless links, we want you to bombard us. Do you have a worker co-op business or local union you'd like us to advertise at the end of our episode for free? So, if you'd like ears on your worker co-op, go down to weareserfs.com. And while you're there, join the Discord because it's filled with righteous guys, gals, and MPals. Finally, come check us out on Twitch Live 5 days a week by going to twitch.tv/thesurftv. Yeah. To our lords, Ricky Pilgrim, I'm Raft, Tomospone, Nine Tails Cosmic Fox, Hans Josephine, and Corpse Harvester, we bow meekly for your pleasure. To our Knights of the Round Table, Josh Mickelson, Dylan Byth, Zach Christensen, Todd Buckingham, Todd Lajeunesse, Clement Chetskoff, Cooper Pilot, aka the Man with Large Balls, Political Puppy, Nick Davis, Ali May, and Alan R., we salute you. And to our many merchants and farmers, you have our undying loyalty.